Good evening and welcome to Air to Ground Farms Monday Night Live Farm Talk, where we like to talk about the realities of farming and having a small farm with a lot of different animals. And we are so glad that you're here tonight. Tonight, we want to talk about raising animals with kindness and some respect and how we handle all of our different animal groups.
And the different personalities of each of the animals. Hopefully we'll get to that.
Yeah. But before we do that, what we like to do is give a bit of a farm update with how our farm is going this particular week. And to be honest with you, we weren't here.
It's going really well.
It's going really good because we weren't here. We actually returned about 2 hours ago from a trip to Florida to see my parents and my family that all live in South Florida. They did a little early Thanksgiving.
We did that on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was really nice to get
day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Get to spend time with family. And then on the travel days on the way down and on the way back, both, we got to stop in Montgomery, Alabama and see Hannah and Matthew, who are stationed in England, but they're in a school in Montgomery at Maxwell Air Force Base, about a 5-week school. So we got to stop in both ways and spend the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, going down and back with Hannah and Matthew. So that was really nice.
Yeah, that was really cool. We had a fantastic time. We ate turkey. We did the thing with the family and hung out with the parents, and it was good. More importantly, while we were gone, the people who were looking after the farm did a fabulous job. And if there's one thing that I could recommend to everyone who has a small farm or a homestead, is find someone who can look after your place and care for your animals like you do, and make sure that everyone is happy and fed and taken care of while you take a few minutes to go breathe and visit people who live far away. That has been huge for us this year.
We've talked about it before, but you got to anticipate that, right? Like, you can't say, I'm leaving next week. Who's going to watch the farm or who's going to watch the homestead? Right. Like, that has to be somebody that is engaged with you probably months in advance, depending on what animals you have.
Yeah, there's an element of training that needs to go into it that so that they know all the schedule on all the different animals. And if you have a milk cow, Lord knows they need to know how to milk a cow.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we didn't get to do an update last week either. So we skipped out on the Monday Night Live last week. We had just arrived in Okeechobee, Florida, and we were beat from the travel, so we didn't have a chance. So I think the big thing from the week prior was we castrated the piglets.
Yes, you did.
And Huck and I were able to do that. That was probably the biggest thing there. So that went well. Seems to be no issues from their minor surgeries.
Yeah, everyone was looking good. Well, the other thing is we hauled, I know we talked about it, we hauled the 40-something turkeys to the processor. They processed them. Now we had a few wholes that we sold basically as pre-sale orders. They're all sold, but we do have turkey breast and ground turkey and turkey wings that we have for sale now at Air to Ground Meats as of like this coming week. So happy to have that in the store. Another offering for people who like turkey, like me, and who maybe we have a lot of alpha gal, which is you can't eat red meat, tick-borne syndrome or disease or allergy. And we have that in the store now. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Air, and then the number 2 ground, air2groundmeats.com.
Yeah.
I don't think we have it on the website yet.
It is on there. It's hidden right now, but because it's now just going live. So this coming week, it'll all be live.
Cool.
So we're excited to have, another group of products for sale. turkeys are interesting. We'll get to those in a minute when we get to the poultry. But before we kind of go on any further, let's get to a few comments.
Oh,
One
fun.
thing we like to do on this is really engage our audience. So we love for you to make comments and say hi and what you guys are up to. That's really important for this.
So we have Farmhand Huck saying happy rainy Monday from the top of the hill. It rained 3 inches while we were gone.
Yeah.
We were getting pretty dry again. It was dusty. So that was nice. And today is another sort of drizzly.
Very reminiscent of time that we spent in England.
Yeah, for sure. It was
This time of
very
year.
Englandish. And Phil highlights that. He says, hey, all, it's a drizzly day over here. Reminds me of Washington State and one of the many reasons moved to Missouri.
Yeah.
And a happy Thanksgiving as well.
Well,
from
happy
Phil.
Thanksgiving to you. We hope you have a wonderful week.
Becca says hello from top of the hill.
Hi, Becca.
Homestead Jude says howdy from West Virginia. Missed you last week.
Well, we're glad to be back.
Yeah, thank you. Carol, I want chickens. Hey, Carol says hello and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Angels Homestead says hey, everyone.
Glad you're here.
And Michael Whitson says,
hey, good to see you.
howdy, you fantastic folks from Ava,
Ava.
and happy Thanksgiving. And
Cool.
he also says, grow turkeys, please.
We did. It'll be in the store this week.
Yep. E. Kim Markham, your mom, says, hey, y'all, enjoyed our early Thanksgiving with y'all. Glad you are home safe and love y'all.
Love you too. It was a fantastic time.
Anna says, hello to all.
Good evening.
Patty Irwin says, hi, y'all. Glad you had a good trip.
We did. Thank you.
Michael says, do you have neck?
No. We just only have so much cold space that we had to like turn some things down it was a little egregious on our part, but we had to say, but we do have a lot of breast and ground turkey. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So hopefully you like ground turkey.
And Patty says, wish I could buy turkey thighs. No.
I know, like there's just so much. And this was a kind of an experiment for us. We'll see how it goes this year. And if turkeys go really good, then just kind of like the chickens, we did a little bit and then we did a little bit more, and we'll see how it goes. If it goes well, then maybe we do more turkeys next year with different cuts and stuff. But we weren't sure on
This is the first year we're offering turkey, so we raised them for the first time. Last year we raised 4, and
we like to test
it was
things.
just for us. I think that's smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I
so
agree.
we raised 4.
Can you keep them alive?
Yeah. First off, like that was the 4 last year was more, can we do it? Do we like the animal? Do they fit with the farm? Can we keep them alive?
Yeah.
Now this year we raised 50, and it is more of a, can we market it? Can we sell it?
How do you get it processed? How do you haul it? Like all of the let's learn the animal, like from start to finish. Yeah. Can you market it? Can you sell it? And that's really important. We don't want to get too far over our skis.
Yeah. And then things like this, comments like, do you have neck? Do you have thighs? The answer this year, unfortunately, is no. But that lets us know now next year to have in our mind, okay, so we probably need something like a soup stock for turkeys. People might actually be interested in the thighs.
Right.
So it's good information for us
Sure.
as we're learning and learning what our farm market will support.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josephine says, howdy, beautiful people.
Aw, you're so sweet.
Firefox Kitty says, nice to see you back.
Thank
Glad
you.
you could make the trip.
Yeah, us too. Really, it was needed. It was good.
Chris says, hello from Kira and Chris in Arkansas.
Oh, thank you guys.
And thanks for helping with the
My gosh. Okay. So when you go away
yucky.
or you deploy, if you're in the military, if any of you have ever been in the military or been a military spouse, as soon as the military member leaves the property, things go wrong. And so we were not even to Memphis. Like we were driving and we were minutes, like we had left hours prior, and we get a call with, there's something really stinky in the barn, and we think it's a freezer that has gone. And sure enough, thank goodness the meat that was in it was not like our products. It was meat that a cow that we had processed that we were going to use for primarily dog food. And the freezer went out like all the way. I don't know, with the way they acted about it, and it had been a hot minute,
Yeah.
like a long time.
Yeah,
and
sure.
it was stinky, and they were like, what do we do? And get it out of the barn. So of course something went wrong as soon as we left, but they handled it like pros. They got it taken care of, and shoe buddy.
Yeah. So Ginger
was
and
just
Huck
grateful.
were able to get that
That's
out
right.
of the barn
Ginger,
and get it away from the house.
Chris and Kira got to witness get it out of the barn.
Yeah. Stuff happens on a farm.
Yeah.
It just does.
Thank you guys for helping
Yeah,
so
seriously.
much.
Mayor says my son John has a gigantic tom turkey.
They get huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Last year, our biggest bird dressed weighed 32 pounds. So it was 50 pounds probably
Yeah.
live
They
weight.
get really big.
Yeah.
But they're really cool, huh?
They really are.
They really are.
Firefox Kitty says you guys are
Oh,
amazing.
you're too sweet. Thank you.
Becca says, I love the turkeys. They're so funny.
They are.
And that's true.
That's true.
Josephine says, so it only takes a year to fully grow a turkey. Does it go for chickens too?
Oh, so when we say this year, we mean basically this growing season. We got the turkeys in, I'm going to go with June, July timeframe. He knows the exact date. It's okay. And then we processed them at the end of October. So to grow out a turkey, these were broad-breasted whites, and they were under 20 weeks old, right at. And so that you can grow them out in about 5 months, 4 months, really. And they're really fast, actually, but we won't grow any more because it's getting cold. And so we kind of pick a time frame and we grow them so that we have them ready by the holidays, because people primarily like to eat whole turkeys this week for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, definitely the fall.
Yeah.
So we haven't decided exactly how we're going to do next poultry season and exactly what birds we'll get. But if the turkey sells well this year, we might get some turkeys at the beginning of the season so that we have them throughout the season. And not just for the holidays, but
We'll see. Yep.
But the chickens, we grow Cornish cross here on the farm, and commercially they're grown out in a little under 6 weeks. We like to take ours longer than that. They're normally between 8 and 10 weeks was what we did this year. So that's about how long they take.
So you can grow poultry fast.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Anna says all the turkey parts that my mother used to make her turkey soup broth are a possibility to sell by the package.
Yes, they are. Gizzards and livers and all the parts.
So we took our poultry, all of the poultry this year went to a USDA processing facility down in Arkansas, about 2.5 hours from us. And the chicken this year, the first batch that we took, they call it backs and frames. So we kept the necks and the carcass to sell as, soup stock and like what you're mentioning there, and it didn't sell. And because we have a limited amount of freezer space, a product that doesn't sell is not a good product for us. We don't have room for it.
When we were processing chickens on our own, we would save the livers and the gizzards and a few anyway, and some hearts and stuff. And we just didn't have enough interest in the organs to justify the cold space.
Yeah. So we got one batch this year, 2 batches.
2 batches.
Out of the 10 batches that we did of chickens, we got 2 batches where we kept the backs and frames, as they call it, as they're packaging it up, and it just doesn't sell. Like it really doesn't.
Not in this
And
area anyway.
I mean, it's unfortunate because
There's so much.
the product is technically wasted from our perspective, from the farm's perspective.
Absolutely.
But we don't have the room to hold a whole bunch of product that's not selling. So you just have to make a decision on, is it worth the freezer space to hold it in the hopes that maybe somebody wants to make a soup stock? And for us, the answer was no.
Right.
So of the 10 batches of chicken we had done this year, we got 2 batches. We kept the backs and frames for soup stock, and we just had to make the decision with the turkey because we weren't sure we were going to have the cold space for it anyway. We made the decision to
Just give me the meat.
Yeah, just give us the meat.
We got some new people in here tonight. This is so awesome. Yeah. So, Harry Kent, what am I? Hepworth. That's right. These guys have been long YouTube fans, and we're so glad that you guys are here.
Yeah, so it says, hi from East Tennessee. 5 weeks from the Tabasco sauce YouTube video we completed Sunday afternoon, the red ripe Tabasco sauce, and today our green Tabasco sauce.
We saw that. You guys comment on that video and stuff, and that was so awesome. Glad that it worked out.
Yeah, we love it.
We love it. Yeah.
It's hot.
It is. It's hot. One batch we didn't dilute quite enough, and it was really hot. And the next one you diluted a little bit more, and it's more that, man, I could put it on pizza, eggs,
It's good.
everything. Glad you guys are enjoying it and that you're here tonight.
So Anna asks, I can see the surprise in the comment. You don't have alarms
We do.
on your freezers that notify your phone?
We do. Yes. Unfortunately, this particular freezer just went out. It had power going to it still.
The answer is no. We don't have freezer alarms that notify our phones.
Oh, I thought it did notify your phone.
No, we have freezer alarms on the power circuit. So it makes an audible alarm in the barn that says you don't have power to your freezers.
Right. We don't have a temperature alarm on our phones for individual freezers.
Because if the power goes out, we don't have Wi-Fi. And without the Wi-Fi, it wouldn't notify our phones anyway.
So we do have alarms, but it's an audible alarm in the barn, and basically always somebody's here.
The freezer was getting power. That was the issue, was that it was getting power.
Out,
the compressor
went out.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And Anna says, have you worked the figures to see how profitable they are compared to the Cornish cross?
That's an interesting subject. We're currently working on that. And last year, our birds seemed to be a little bit bigger than they were this year. So I think we'll be okay on them. But next year, we may have to make some adjustments. That said, we will be okay. The meat's going to be amazing. And we're still working some of those details right now. There were some, our heads have been cocked just a little bit. Not sure. Just going to leave it there.
Yeah. We have worked the numbers.
It will be profitable.
We'll see.
But I don't know if it's going to be as profitable as we were hoping. Yeah. Just because based on meat volume.
Yep. And then Anna says, it's a shame that your customers don't utilize the backs and frames.
I know. I get it. I do.
Yes.
What do you do? You know? Anyway. Okay.
Yes. I honestly thought that it would, that more would sell than what does.
Our number one, poultry seller is boneless, skinless chicken breast. By far.
Yeah, by far.
And then thighs. But people want boneless, skinless chicken breast. Not.
We have one customer that buys necks.
Yes, we do. One. She wants all of them. Yeah. Most people just want
boneless, skinless breast.
Right. They want something quick and easy. Yeah. So anyway, okay. I think that covers all of that. Let's get to some animals, like alive animals.
Last
Oh, wait.
last comment here. Firefox Kitty says utilizing the backs and stuff may be a marketing issue.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. But, you know, I got to be honest. A lot, you guys, like our viewers, especially that are here tonight, are people who know to take the backs and the frames and all of the good parts and turn them into amazing stuff. Y'all know how to do that. But every person that walks in the store in town is not into making amazing bone broth for chicken soup and all of the things that we can do with that. We do that. You do that. But that doesn't mean that every person walking in wants to do that. And so when you've got a whole bunch of birds, that's a little overwhelming in the backs and necks department.
Yeah. And we've tried. We do daily Facebook posts and we have tried with that from a marketing perspective. And I don't know, people aren't terribly interested in making their own stock. So Josephine says as a kid, the frames, they use the frames as a crab pot bait with even the hearts and the livers.
Yes. Yeah.
When we lived on the water in Florida, we would set a pinfish trap, same type of deal.
Bait to go like red snapper fishing and stuff. Yeah, it worked great.
Yeah, Carol is highlighting again that she changed her sign on.
We knew it was you, Carol, and we know you want chickens. So I'm glad you're here.
And she says, thanks to both of you, I bought my first ever fresh turkey instead of a frozen bird from the grocery store.
Oh, I hope you enjoy it.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. Consider putting it in a brine.
Yeah.
Brine on a turkey always works great. Use Google, and we brined ours when we were at my parents'. We'll probably brine this one again. A good brine, a good salt and maybe sugar brine is amazing, but just salt and water works.
Yeah, we just did salt.
Yep.
Yeah.
A brine on a turkey really just keeps it juicy.
Yeah.
Tender. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're going on with comments.
I am. Yeah. Firefox Kitty, continuing the conversation about the stock. And it really is a good thing to make your own stock. Good. And we do, especially this time of year, we'll do stock a lot for soups and stuff. And people don't understand exactly how easy it is and how flavorful you end up.
Yeah, they don't. You're right. Education is great. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Just to educate.
Okay.
So one of the things that we often get, we're gonna move on to animals here. One of the things that we often get is we'll give farm tours, or we'll be telling people about the farm and showing them. And a lot of times we get the question of, how do you have such calm animals? How are they so easy to handle and they're delicious? And how and what are some why? Like why? And one of the reasons is we work with nature and not against it. And each animal group does have their own sort of personality, and learning how to handle the animals with what you have to work with the animal is key to things being a little more sane.
I think there, like resource wise, a couple of things. One would be The Pigness of Pigs, which is one of Joel Salatin's many books, and talks about the importance of allowing the animals to express their nature.
Mm-hmm. God designed them in a way and allow them to express the nature that design. Yeah.
And I would say the other one is probably Temple Grandin, and she is autistic, but really, really understands animals, and especially with cattle and the way that cows think. I would think if you're wanting some resources for, if you don't have the animals yet and you're wondering, do I want to get them? The Pigness of Pigs and really anything by Temple Grandin where she discusses how to how to work in and around the larger animals, especially. She talks about cows, but also with sheep and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would think
So
those would be great resources.
when we first started, we we read those resources, and just allowing cows graze, right? And pigs root, and chickens scratch and peck and forage, and sheep graze and flock. And allowing each of those of the animal groups, dogs guard, cats hunt, and allowing them to do the thing that they were designed to do is it's really easy if you give them the environment to do it in, and allowing them to just express their own nature really just keeps them happy and calm and working with you. And one of the things that we learned early on, sometimes we forget, but mostly these days we remember, is getting the animals to come with you rather than trying to push them. That was probably one of the biggest things that and handling them with kindness and respecting them. So cows, let's talk about cows for just a minute. Cows are, by nature, they're very curious. They're slow thinkers, but they're thinking. They're watching you all the time. And one of the things Temple says, like, if you wear a hat all the time when you go out, so that they recognize that that's you, oh, that's the person I trust. And we'll get to that on how you build that trust. And when you move them in the same manner that you moved them last time.
Yeah.
What are some other things that you think about cows?
For me, is just calm. They don't do excitement well. If you get excited, so do they. So,
Oh, that's so true.
To me, with the cows, it's always as calm as you can be, as quiet as you can be, as like even the rotation around the farm. Mm-hmm. Like, we have cows now that were born on the farm almost 4 years ago, and like, we rotate them in the same way. Like, when they leave one pasture, they know that they're going to the next one. They know where to go.
Right.
They know when they leave that pasture, they're going to that one. And like, just the sort of, they love a routine. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily that they, the same exact thing every day. It doesn't have to be that, but they really do. They like that routine. I think because they do think, and they think slowly, I think that them knowing what's coming next it really helps them, and it helps them stay calm. Like, if we go out and we're going to move the cows and it's out of the rotation, it's very confusing to them. They'll go to a gate that they think they're supposed to go through and stand there and wait on you.
If we show up in the wrong side-by-side, we have two side-by-sides here. His parents have one here, and we use it to farm. And so if we go out on that side-by-side and we tell them to come on, they're going to be confused. We have to go on the one that we normally go on, and it sounds different. It looks different. And we gather around, we kind of sit there for a minute, and we call them like dogs. Really? We're just like, come on, cows. And if they're way off in a pasture, we say, come on, cows. And I'll holler at them. I holler at them, but he can move them by himself. We can move them, but their typical thing, if we want it to go as smooth as possible, I say, come on, cows. And I give them a second, and someone, probably number 10 or Socks, is going to real big back at me. They're going to talk back. And then I say, come on, cows. And somebody's going to talk back. And then they all start looking around like, oh, we're going somewhere. And you just got to give them a minute. We used to try to move them quick. You can't. You be patient. We holler at them. They holler back. We do this a couple of times. I start clapping. They all, oh, okay, all right, we're going somewhere. And it's so cute to watch because they have to think. And then off we go. And now we can just, I drive in the side by side, calling them. Off they go. They have an idea of where they're going. He follows up.
Yeah, I follow behind him because we always have young calves, and the young animals are always the question mark. They're always the ones that are going to do something that you don't expect. So I will walk behind typically when we move the cows just to keep the calves up with the herd. They get distracted. They see a leaf or a tree or a fence post or like it like anything. They get distracted and then they stop and they look and they do something else and then they look up and the herd is gone and now you have no idea where they're going to go. Typically back where they had just come from. So normally Shelley will go in front. Now we've gotten to the point, since you hurt your knee, typically we'll do that with you on the side by side, and then I'll walk behind the group of cows, and just to keep the calves moving along with the herd, to keep them from being distracted and turning around and going backwards like that. It
Ask
took
us how we know.
it took us a while to really get that down. If you'll keep the calves with the herd, just gentle pressure. You don't have to it's not like you're back behind them cracking a whip or something. It's just keeping them moving forward with the herd.
Well, if you don't know, and I'm sure that you probably do, cows can see like 320 degrees. 330 degrees. So right down their tail, they can't see that. Right down their spine. All the way, the rest of the way, they can see. So all you have to do is kind of walk behind, just gently pressure them, keep them going. They don't really want to be near you because they're beef cows. And we just kind of push them on calmly, and they go to the next place, and they're happy to get there, kicking up their heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took us a while, though. We initially, we tried just pushing the cows wherever we wanted them to go because that's what we grew up with. You had
whips cracking,
horses and cow dogs and whips, and you herded the cows, you pushed them in a direction. And that works when you have a group of people and a group of horses and a group of dogs. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but when it's just the two of us trying to move cows around the farm, it's so much easier to just have them follow.
Yeah. And honestly, it's become one of our favorite things to do. Like when it's time to move the cows, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of boring all winter. We go feed them hay and they don't get to move around. They're very happy to see us when we get there. And we build that trust. Over the winter, we show up every day. We bring them food and they love us and they think it's great. And then it comes time for spring and they're ready to go. And when we come out there, or Huck, now he's feeding hay and doing more with the cows. If it comes time and they need to be moved, he can be me if I'm somewhere else and move the cows on that way. But, we have tried to push a few. One time we were moving them down a lane and we needed them to turn and go into the pens. Well, we trusted that a hot wire will turn them. And it did, except I'm not sure what the hiccup was. I don't remember, but we had like a net there, and our bull and two calves the bull jumped over the net. And we made a video about it. It was a really long time ago, but he jumped over the net. And then we had to try to get him back with the cows and push him into a pen. Of course, a bull doesn't want to be pushed anywhere, and he's a very calm bull. He really is. He's very gentle in all ways that a bull can be. But this particular day, he showed us how big he was and kind of sort of put us in our place.
Yeah, that's the one time that our bull has said no.
No, he just said, no, I'm not going to go where you want me to go.
Yeah.
And we just backed off and said, and we were still green. At that time with having cows, and we learned a few lessons that day. Don't try to push the bull. The bull goes, but don't try to push him anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a few comments we can catch up
fun.
on. Anna says, second best thing about Thanksgiving was the turkey vegetable soup the next day.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Patty mentions that Campbell's is admitting to using bioengineered and 3D printed chicken. I hope it spurs some interest in real food.
Agree.
We're all about interest in real food.
Uh-huh.
Harry says we've switched to a dry salt brine for the products we smoke, and dry brining is not quite as cumbersome in the smoker. Agree.
Okay,
We do
yeah.
that for some things, but with
Yeah.
the turkeys, we normally do a wet brine. Josephine says love the cows,
Oh, for sure.
and she's commenting that she had cows that that's why they left at the creek so
Oh.
loud and running around every time I would have to walk up the hill, get a ride down to the creek.
Yep.
Carol asks, what animals should have a companion in the pen? Should a cow have a companion in the same pen? I hear sheep do not do well by themselves.
You're absolutely right. Cows really now a lot of people have a dairy cow and she does fine. But cows really do better if they have more than one. They are herd animals.
I can't think of an animal on our farm that would prefer to be by itself.
All pigs, we don't even know if we're going to get to them tonight, but pigs, all of them prefer to be with their people.
Yeah.
A sheep, they really don't do well alone. They don't.
No,
Especially lambs. Lambs will just die.
we've had lambs die.
Because they were by themselves.
Yeah.
And so now when we're lambing, if I've got one that needs to come in, I bring another one.
We have to bring two.
I have to bring two. Yeah. If you've got one bottle baby, you got two bottle
You
babies.
got to pull one.
You've got to pull one. And it kind of stinks, but if you want to save that one, it needs a partner.
Right now, the only animal we have that's by themselves is Tex, our boar hog, and he's just across the way from the sows. And occasionally he gives us indications that he would rather not be by himself. But right now he just has to be because we don't have
Breeding
two.
purposes,
Yeah,
yeah.
we don't have two boars.
Right.
Like I don't think
He's
that
got a
would work
very
for
large
us.
space. He probably, by himself, he probably has quarter acre?
Yeah.
Probably a quarter of an acre to
I mean,
himself.
our bull is. We have two bulls, and they're both with
They're with cows.
with their cows.
Right.
We have two rams. They're either together when it's not breeding season. They're together
Yep.
and they're fine, or it's breeding season and they're
So
with the ewes.
everybody's with a companion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dogs are with companions. Like everybody
That's
is.
kind,
Yeah.
But keeping an animal just by itself that's just not cool.
Yeah.
Because they're meant to be with their people.
Yep. Jeannie says cows are just like people. They like familiar and routine. My neighbors have cows. Every window I look out, there are cows to the southeast and west, everywhere. Here in Nebraska, cows are all over.
Cows are lovely.
The farm on 158
Hey,
says,
happy to have you.
yeah. One thing our family learned was that you have to sell off any cows with crazy tendencies. Some just have bad genetics and will teach others to misbehave.
Well, Joel Salatin, who is kind of a guru in this multi-species regenerative farming space, says open, old,
open, and
and
ornery.
ornery. And ornery, you put wheels under them.
And he says any one of those three wheels immediately.
Wheels immediately. They got to
Old,
go.
open, or ornery. We're not great at that. But
We don't have any real ornery, though, to be honest.
we agree with you, though.
Absolutely.
100%.
If they're ornery, if
Gotta
they're
go.
our neighbor down the way, he raises some Charolais, and he talks about they've run him up fences before. It's like, look, no, we're not doing that. Now that we won't do.
He has one cow that every time he works the cows, he ends up a tree,
I
up a
know.
fence, and in the pens.
It's
and
not
like,
worth that.
Yeah, no. We're not
We
doing
there are enough risks that we take farming, and injuries do happen, and we don't need that in our life.
Yeah.
I'm like the Queen of Hearts around here. I'll be like, gotta go. It's
Yeah.
true.
And then Josephine says, lucky that she gets to see cows
Everywhere.
on the way to town. Maybe 2 times a year. Next door has a cow. I think that they look after that one till better. Not around here for long. Love hearing the mooing. It's relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do love the cows.
We love to see the cows out. So we also have some pigs. You mentioned the boar a minute ago, but we also have 5 sows, and we have piglets a couple of times a year, and those piglets turn into feeders. So we have sort of like, oftentimes we have 3 different age groups, and they're kind of their own sort of personalities, because the sows, those are just big old mamas, and they're just big mamas. And ours are very friendly. We can be in there with them, with their piglets.
And we've showed that before on a Monday night. Me sitting down on one of them, giving her a scratch.
Yeah, giving her a scratch, sitting on top of her. They're very friendly. The piglets, they turn into just like roving motorcycle gangs. They stick together. They get up in the hay because we give them big round hay bales to stay warm in and stuff. And so the mamas can nest. And those guys, they're fast and they stay together.
They're skittish. They're squirrely.
They're hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And cute.
Yeah. So right now we have 3 different groups. So we have feeder pigs that are about 150 pounds. We have our breeders. And then we also have piglets. We have 3 batches of piglets currently that are about anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks old.
So you've got little 20 pounders all the way up to Tex, who probably weighs 550, maybe close to 600 pounds. And so, and everybody in between. And everybody kind of acts different, and you give them their, we don't ask more than what we think we can get from them. They're very smart. They are very routine animals. They're quite fastidious. Like, people think pigs are dirty. They're not. They tend to use the bathroom in sort of the same spots. They do like mud. It helps keep them cool, for sure. But all in all, they're smart, and they're fairly easy keepers. They really are. Just bring them food at the same time.
We've gotten comments before where people have said, I don't think I want to get pigs because they're the smartest animals. And it's like,
well, they're not that smart.
Yeah. The pigs are smart. Like, I'll give you that. But it's not like they're going to outsmart you. It's not like they're so smart you can't handle them.
Well, one good thing about it is they're quite food motivated.
Yeah.
A hungry pig, you can do a lot with it.
Yes. They don't see well.
That was one thing we learned probably maybe a couple of years into it, actually. Yeah. Their eyesight, their good eyesight is at the ground where they get their food, and they're quite nearsighted. They can't see very good far away. And anything kind of moving way out there is just an object that is kind of scary to them.
We had some plastic poly wire braid that we were using to keep the pigs in, and the plastic was a yellow and black, and it really is camouflage with the setting behind it. Like, it's difficult to see
with sticks and rocks and everything.
And those pigs, the group that we had in that wire, broke that wire so many times, and I really think it was because they just couldn't see it. Now, looking back on it, now we just use a solid wire.
Solid
metal.
What gauge? Like what?
It's a medium tensile electric wire. Yep. But I think it was because
since we switched to that, we have not had one problem. Not one problem with them breaking or getting out, or like, as long as the wire's on, they really respect it.
So every time I go up to the pigs, I say the same types of words to them in the same tone of voice. That so that they know they can hear that the side by side is coming.
Yep.
And then they can see a blob, but then it's my voice that is providing them food every day, basically,
Right.
The blob with a voice that sounds like this.
Yeah.
And so I think that helps keep them calm, to hear a familiar voice.
Absolutely. And show up with the food same time every day. If you do that, they pretty much stay where they're supposed to. So let's move on to sheep. So sheep are generally labeled as dumb animals. And I'm not going to put them up there with the smart ones. But the thing is, they're prey sheep. I mean, prey. Sheep are prey animals.
Yeah.
They're food for a lot of other people, right? And that instinct that drives them to flock up. The type of sheep that we have high flock up tendencies. They will get together. And so once you learn how sheep, what little they do, but how they think and what their instincts are, that's what you can work with.
Yeah. I think it's important. You've heard the term probably bellwether, and the bellwether, like it literally was a wether, which is a castrated male sheep that you would put a bell onto so that you always knew where that wether was. And if you could get that one to be comfortable with you, to be friendly, then you would always have a sheep that you knew where it was. And then if that one will come with you, then the rest of the flock will come also. Mm-hmm. There are sheep that are way more flighty, that are
We have a couple.
are have a tendency more to scatter than to flock. I think sheep are probably easier to deal with if you have the kind that like to flock together. Mm-hmm. So get one that is was a bottle baby, like we have our black sheep that we call Sheepster. We raised her in the camper with us when we were living in the camper.
Everyone should do that. You should move into a camper and have your pet dogs and try to build a farm and live in the camper and bring sheep inside. You should do that. Just do it.
The thing about having
Sheepster.
The thing about Sheepster is when we go anywhere near the sheep, Sheepster comes to greet us. And what that causes is the rest of the flock will come also, because if one of them goes somewhere, their instinct is we all need to go there too.
I guess often termed like queen ewe, like the cows, matriarch of the cow herd. You need someone who's the matriarch or the queen of the sheep, and we've got a couple out there that will come on, mm-hmm. but mostly they're just kind of food motivated. And if you say for the sheep, when we move them, we say sheep, 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 and for the cows we say come on cows, and so. It's the repetitive same thing over and over again, sheep, sheep, sheep. And I mean, they come a running and they're hilarious when they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheep, once you learn how the sheep sort of think, it makes them a lot easier to handle and move
you've probably also seen the book, The Sheep Follow.
The Sheep Follow. And The Sheep Follow.
If you can keep that in mind, The Sheep Follow, we, again, starting out, we tried to push the sheep, like to herd them, push them in a direction. And they honestly, like, unless you're doing that with dogs, mm-hmm. they really don't know what to do with that. It is so much better if you
get them to follow you.
Mm-hmm. It is so much easier. The whole flock will go. And then same thing, I'll go behind mm-hmm. and keep anybody that's distracted by a blade of grass that they didn't see before or something, keep them moving to keep the flock together. That works easier than for them to look up and the flock's gone. Like that doesn't work well. No. But if you can keep the flock together, have somebody in front, have somebody else behind, keeping the flock together.
And be patient and just kind of, they're going to want to eat and kind of do things, and you just kind of let them and just push them along, and you get them where you want them to go. One really fun thing, while sometimes I go, oh no, lambs, they stress me out. They're adorable. And about 2 or 3 weeks into lambing season, the lambs start leaping. And when I say leaping, I mean leaping and jumping and running every evening at sundown in the spring. Every evening, these lambs, it is like a Formula One or a NASCAR race. They're running, I'm talking in a pack. They're running around, they're bouncing off of the moms. They're basically parkouring off the backs of the moms that are laying down, and absolute joy. I mean, lamb personalities are hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
They really are. And so of all the things, lambs do stress me out. They do. Because when they cry, they do sound like an infant baby.
And they're real fragile.
And they're very fragile. They're susceptible to everything. So it is full-time farmer when it's time for baby lambs to be on the ground. and you just go, oh no, we got, there's more lambs, and I just stress. But it's wonderful, and they're quite joyful. And they have their own personality and start lambing when it's lambing time. Poultry, chickens, they have a pecking order, and they like to, scratch around and forage and look for things. And you kind of see who the top hen is, or who's top it, and you kind of sort of let it happen. If it's happening too much, then you might want to do some separating if somebody's being bullied. But outside of that, we allow ours to kind of be, wild chickens.
And we have roosters in with them, and the roosters, everyone we've seen, for the years that we've been doing it, the roosters become the top of the pecking order. Mm-hmm. And it seems that everybody is sort of calms down because there is a top bird.
Yeah.
And we have 4 roosters in with a couple hundred hens right now. And even the roosters have an order. And as younger roosters grow up, they challenge the order. But our lead rooster has been the lead rooster
for 3 years
now. Yeah, for a long time.
But right now we have a new set of pullets that are just now starting to lay. And there is one, Huck, I think, trained it. And it's light gray. And when you go out there, she comes to your feet.
Yeah.
And she likes to be picked up and petted. She's like Henny Penny.
She is.
And
you have to pick her up every time
you have to pick her up every time you go out there. They can sort of not really be tamed, but they like.
Well, they can be.
They like farmer affection too. Our 2 geese, when they get in, we have 2 geese that are guard geese. They are what? What are they? What's their breed?
They're an African gray.
African gray. One of them, Teeter, we call her. She gets really, when it's time to lay eggs in the spring, she is the most attention hoarding animal. And she will just come up to me and just holler at me and peck my boots until I will pick her up and pet her, or stroke her neck and pet her and tell her she's a good girl. But she gets weird. She really wants, it's probably something with breeding, I'm sure, but we don't have a gander. And I almost said Drake. wrong animal type. But anyway, they all have their personality. Every year when it's egg laying time, she's going to come looking for affection, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
She will holler at me. She'll bite my boot, and they have sharp beaks. Anyway.
Yeah.
Teeter.
Guineas are probably the most prehistoric animal I've ever been around.
Yeah. Farmhand Hook said, "I love my chicken."
Yeah.
I know you do. I love my chicken. He named it something. I don't remember.
Guineas they are dinosaurs. They are truly dinosaurs. We had guineas. We don't have guineas now.
They're dumb.
I don't think we'll have guineas again.
They don't make great around here. They just don't.
We love the guinea eggs if you can find them.
Yeah. But they like to hide them, and you don't find them until it's just that's too sketchy.
But they're wild. They're crazy wild.
Guineas. We had ducks for a while. They're really fun to watch. They're just high maintenance because the water, they make dirty water, and that's what they do. And they make mud, and they make land really muddy. And so while the eggs were delicious and the ducks were funny, they just were a little, something's got to go, and we don't have ducks anymore.
Yeah, Kevin and Sarah.
But we do like them.
They showed there are ways that you can set up your area so that the ducks don't destroy it.
Yeah.
And if you want to go through that amount of work so that you have ducks, I think it's awesome. The duck eggs are wonderful, but it was too much commitment for us with everything else that was going on on the farm to put that amount of time and effort into the ducks.
Carrie Hatz says, put it up on there, like, I will never do guineas ever again. The way dumb, yes. Very dumb and loud. Too loud.
Yeah, they're really loud.
Come back, come back, come back. You know.
Yeah.
And Farmhand Huck said the chicken's name for everyone is Hey Hey. That's her name. Her name Hey Hey. So Hey Hey like her some pets. That's true. Okay, let's move on really quickly to livestock guardian dogs and cats. We have on this farm 5. We have 5 livestock guardian dogs. We had 7 to about a year. I don't know. In the spring, I think they went to another farm, a neighboring farm who raises sheep to do sheep guarding, and they're doing a fabulous job over there. We have 5, and we keep them with different groups of animals. 2 of them kind of roam around and keep the whole farm protected from unwanted neighbor dogs or unwanted outside predators. They do a good job.
Yeah, they're wandering, and people have asked, how do they know where the property line is?
Yeah.
And the answer is they don't.
They sometimes they wander a little too far, and our neighbors will call and go, your ornery dogs are on, out of their.
For the most part, though, you would honestly, I am at least, I think you would be amazed at how they will lay down in our pasture and watch the county road that's just on the other side of the fence.
One dog will be in one pasture by the road. The other dog is in the neighboring pasture beside the road with the cows. And both of them laying there and watching and paying attention to everything that's going on.
To make sure any dogs that might
Nothing
be on
comes
the
up from the road.
road doesn't come into the pasture. They'll lay at the top of our driveway where our driveway meets the road. They'll lay on our driveway, like on the rock of our driveway, and make sure that dogs don't come down the driveway.
The important thing about livestock guardian dogs is to allow them to guard. They're not our pets. We speak to them. They're kind to us. They're kind to other people. Yes, they will bark, but they will not attack. They will alert us to the fact that somebody's here.
They will attack other animals.
They will attack other animals. They will
raccoons and armadillos and possums.
Their presence is the major deterrent to the other animals and humans. Like, I don't want to go in your yard, which is fine. But for the most part, we don't pet them a lot. We don't talk to them much. We just allow them to do their job and their natural instinct to protect the sheep. Right now, we have a 150-pound male and a 100-pound plus female in with lambs. And those dogs guard those lambs. Another dog is in with the entire group of sheep, and she can take care of that entire group of sheep by herself. And that dog lays on that hill and runs that perimeter. And so allowing them to be them, but trust us, that's the important thing.
It was important for us to be able to handle the dogs. So we do spend time with the dogs. They do know us. They will come to their names. Mm-hmm. They'll
walk on a leash
if
we need them to.
Allow you to pet them. They will walk on a leash. Like, we didn't want a dog that
is kind of wild.
That is wild. No. Like, that doesn't work for us. Our farm is open. We do farm tours. We have children around. Yeah. Like, just a wild animal kind of dog didn't work for us. So we do take the time to gentle the dogs to humans, while still allowing them to be out with the animals that they're supposed to protect.
When they're barking, that's a good thing. That's annoying. Well, that's kind of part of what they do, especially at night. You know, our house is just well insulated, so we don't have to listen to it. And barn cats, we have cats. And one of the things cats do is that sometimes they bring you prizes of vermin that they have caught. And one, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to go with 3. One of them brought something in. I think they must have caught a small rabbit.
It was a full-size rabbit.
It was
They catch
full-size?
baby rabbits often, but this
Yeah,
one
they'll
was a big
catch.
one.
And what happens is the moms, we have some kittens too, because the cat population is weird on a farm. It'll go up and then it goes way down, and they go away and they come back. And the moms will go hunting and bring the babies food, which is awesome, and teach the babies how to hunt and to want that. And
Yep.
that's what you want. And it might seem like, oh no, but that really is the job. And their primary job is to keep vermin out of our barn.
Yeah.
And they do.
We do keep them in the barn. We feed them in the barn. And we don't provide a whole lot for them other than some food.
No.
Right? Like
No.
they get to where they want to lay
Yeah,
down.
do
I
what
mean,
they
like
want.
it's just,
Right.
and then they leave, and then,
Oh, wow.
days or weeks or
Right.
a month later, they'll come back,
Yeah.
and it's like,
So click on Becca's comment right there. We'll hurry up because we're getting to the end. Their barking kept away a whole pack of coyotes yesterday.
yeah,
That's what the dogs do. I just wanted to come like that. That's proof positive of what the dogs' presence, just their general presence, that is so positive.
yeah.
Because-
Coyotes are after a quick, easy meal,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And
They'll just move on.
they'll just move on.
Yeah, they don't want to, because they're big dogs and they know that's there. They don't want to tangle with that.
Yeah.
So with the cats, yes, they bring vermin and they do cat things, but we kind of got to have them.
Yeah.
We got to have them.
So let's clean up with the comments
Okay,
here.
let's do that real quick. And
Jeannie says if the cows are not happy, they let me know and I can tell the neighbor and let them know.
Oh.
They don't make a fuss unless something is wrong. Our cows are the same way.
same.
Exactly. It's like, oh, better
Right.
go feed the cows. Anna asks a good question. Are the animals with wheels, so your old ornery or open, are they sent to auction to become someone else's problem?
Ours are generally going to probably go to freezer camp.
For us, the animals, if they are a problem, they go to the bone pile or to freezer camp.
Yeah.
So we don't relocate animals to be somebody else's problem.
I just kind of think that, like for me, and just call me weird, but if I've got a problem animal, I don't want to take it to an auction where other people are going looking for animals and sell them my problem. So we're just probably going to deal with it ourselves.
Yeah. Some people do though. And it's a chance you take. And
It
one of the
is.
reasons why we don't buy our animals from livestock auctions is because
We don't know what problem we're getting.
you may be getting one that's old, open,
If they're
or
at the
ornery.
auction, they probably are old, open, or ornery.
Yeah. Anna says our Wyoming Life YouTube is having the aging lead steer processed into hamburger and donated to local food banks.
Oh, wow. That's good. Good for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The world needs stuff like that for sure.
Josephine was signing off.
Thank you for being here.
Yep. What do we got? Oh, Anna saying dancing lambs are great to watch.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. We've already done those. Jeannie says just adopted a stray farm cat. Had him vaccinated, neutered, treated for worms, fleas, etc. Because that does happen.
That does happen.
And he still runs freely at will and comes inside when he gets hungry
good.
or cold.
Yep. Dwight, glad you're here.
Yeah, Dwight says, yeah, cats do bring in
They
lots of
do.
vermin.
They will. They will.
Yeah. Susie Q. Martin asks, Rich, did your dad get the garden all put to bed?
He did. They
Yeah,
did.
Mom and Dad, while we were gone last week, they put the garden away. And
Yes. And it's going to sit there until we decide if we want to plant something next year.
yeah,
Yep.
it's looking good.
Doing great.
Yeah. Firefox Kitty says, thanks.
Thanks for being
Learned
here.
a lot on animals again today.
Uh-huh.
And Jeannie says Tyson Foods shutting down one of their processing plants.
Ah,
in
yes, that's an entire
Lexington.
discussion all to itself, isn't it? Yeah, Tyson shut down because supply.
Well, they say that they're cutting costs and their stock prices went up today.
Well, that's wild, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Well,
Yeah, maybe we can talk about
yeah,
that.
we could. Yeah. Hey, guys, this has been fun. Animals are amazing. Farming takes an exorbitant amount of patience. And if you can find that, then you probably are going to have more fun farming.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. We really
We
do
appreciate y'all
appreciate
being
it.
here.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed it. And until next week, bye, y'all.
Bye.